Good morning from Seattle. It is 10:01. Today is Saturday, February the 13th. Welcome to the third e-seminar, the first one of 2016. We had one in December and I believe one in November. So we will keep doing this and have a collection of these e-seminars and maybe puzzle them into a course. Right now, if you are watching this video, the archived e-seminars are below you. So below this video, if you look at the one that says previous sessions, you can watch the previous ones. It looks like we had one in January, one in December. So this is the third one, two this year, it seems. All right, so today we're going to talk about a very interesting topic, which is how to build an awesome promotional website with less than $50. Okay, now there's so many tools out there that will enable you to build a great website and less than $50, and a website that could look like it's made with thousands of dollars. Something that you can compare yourself to a company that maybe has put a lot of money into a website. So how do you make a website look that professional? So real quick, I do this at the beginning of every video. Uh, for you guys that have any questions, please type in the questions below. Right below the video, there is a small chat window. Let me come there. So let me refresh this and maybe I'll pause this here. I'm not sharing the screen yet, but right below the chat window, if you want, you can type in your name and hit enter, and then you can ask questions live. Now, few people submit the questions on the form to the right. Now, the questions that you submit on the form, you would have to do it before the live session, or I can address those in the next live session, okay? So if you want to ask prompt questions, live questions, please go ahead and join in below and then type in your name and hit enter. You can also join with Twitter. All right, so let's get going now. Let me start sharing my screen. So give me 1 second. Entire screen. And whenever you get a chance, if you join the chat window below, please go ahead and type in that yes, you can see my screen. I'm using Google Hangout for this session and the previous ones. So Google is saying that my screen is being shared, so I trust Google. But if you'd like to confirm once more, just go ahead and join below here where it says want to join, type in your name and then hit yes or no if you can see my screen. Okay, so let's jump straight to it. I'm going to try to make these sessions a bit short and sweet, so you can always watch the recording and it doesn't take long to get to the point. So for today, if you look at the topics here at the top, is how we're going to talk about how a website works, so hosting and domains, how much HTML you should know. I have put together a small course that I grabbed material from different sources, and I'll point you to that. And buying the right template. So now there's a lot of stuff already made for you. There's many templates, thousands of templates that are already made, and with very little tweaking, you can build a professional website. And then how do you add content on, on your template, make it SEO compliant, so search engine optimization. And then how do you go live with the website, okay? So before we go through this, I have 2 points that I want to bring to your attention. Let me try to see if I can zoom in maybe a little bit. Okay, so one thing that I want to bring to your attention is as an individual, what can you build a website about? You probably already have a company that you'd like to build your website for your company, but for people that do not have an organization or a company or a service, what they can build a website about. I am really fascinated how a lot of individuals make a brand out of themselves. They find out what they're good at, and then they just bring that value to the audience. So they keep building the community by giving the community information that they know, okay, by sharing things that they're good at. Two of the people that I want to bring to this live session is Derek Halpern. This is a New York guy that has made a amazing brand of himself. It's at socialtriggers.com. I've been following Derek for some times now. He's made a multi-million-dollar business, and he just tells people how good he is, and he helps people. He brings a lot of value to his community. Now he has hundreds of thousands of users in his community, if not millions. And as you can see, if you go to socialtriggers.com, it's all about Derek. And Derek is your trainer, your coach. This Social Triggers is more about online marketing and building, entrepreneurship, building a successful online business, etc. And then if you scroll down, he jumps straight to the point. A few ways I can help. Okay, so for you guys that would like to build a website and you don't know what kind of website you want to build, uh, I would suggest you build a website about what you're good at. Okay, build your community and your brand. And if you go to this website, just look at how simple it is and the value that Derek brings to the users. It's just amazing. Okay, another guy that I want to bring your attention is Brad Hussey from Canada. Uh, he's an amazing freelancer. He builds courses along the way that teach people coding, but the way he does the interaction and builds the community is just fascinating. He stays in close touch via email. He uses the email just pretty much like a discussion board between you and him, between the community, and he brings a lot of value to his community and build a brand out of himself. So bradhudsey.ca, you can read about him as well. And again, this is for you guys that would like to build a website, because today we're going to talk about how to build a website with less than $50. So if you'd like to build a website and you don't know what should you build the website about, build it about yourself. I suggest you start doing that first. So two strategies to build a website about yourself that you can bring value to the community, okay? And then build a community. So build the user base, get yourself known out there before you give a service to people, a paid service maybe in the future. So what you're good at, think about these 2 points, and then we're going to move on to building a website. Think about questions people ask you, okay? What are some of the most frequent questions you get asked and you are able to answer? So if you are at your job, people might come to you asking, I don't know, PowerPoint questions, how to build slides with PowerPoint, or maybe relationship questions, okay, etc. So what do people ask you about? And you answer those, and people like your answers, the value you bring on the answers. So think about that, and if you can find something that you are bringing value to people around you that ask you questions, you should build your brand up around that, okay? And you can build it just like these guys. Social Triggers is maybe a different domain name, but you can have your own domain name, like bradhussey.ca. I have my own domain name too, ridvanaliu.com. So you can get a domain name with your name. That's perfectly fine, okay? And the second strategy, so if the first one, you cannot think about something that people, you bring value by answering questions, and think about the common problems your clients or customers already have. So if you're working somewhere, think about what are the complaints, what are the problems that you hear from customers. And then are these problems you believe that you can solve? Or maybe you're good at doing a research on how to solve them. Maybe that's the value you can bring to your community, okay? Even doing a research and summarizing that research and bringing that to your community so people see a value, it will start building your brand. It will start building your user base. And once you have a user base like Derek, which he has pretty significant user base, then you can go ahead and push different services, different stories, maybe some paid services, so they appreciate what you're giving them, etc. Okay, one of the brands I have built in the Eastern Europe and among others, among Idiongo, is a MOOC that I launched. I think I mentioned this last time, but this MOOC now has 46,000 students, as you can see here. So this is giving the community content in English, in coding. This is in Albanian, by the way, so it's a different language. It's a MOOC in Albanian. That's why it's called MOOC, Albanian MOOC. So in English, in coding, in math, physics, chemistry, and technology information. So we were able to bring a team together that will build awesome content in these subjects. And I started doing this in coding. My background is in software engineering. So this is something that you can think about, okay? Let me come back here maybe and just refresh the page real quick. All right, let's see. Okay, we're good. Okay, I got all of these things open here. So let's move on. Now, building a website. If I come here to the topic at the top, how a website works. So at high level, okay, I'm gonna keep writing in this document. At high level, you need to go. So for example, if I go here to redvanaliu.com, so Redvan Aliu is a domain name. Therefore, you need a domain name to get a website up and running. So domain name. And you can do a domain name, like I said, with your name if you'd like to, okay? Now, this domain name is just the address of your website, okay? So people can remember that instead of an IP, an internet protocol, a number behind it. So each address is associated with, you might have heard of it, an IP, which is a number in the web, okay? So the domain name is a reference. Now this reference is going to refer to the website. Where does that website live? Where are all these pages that you see here? Now these pages, this content lives in a server, and it's called a hosting server. It hosts the pages. So this is the first thing that you need to learn about how the website works. You need a host and a domain name, a hosting server, okay? So majority of the organizations that offer domain names, they also offer hosting, okay? This is where your website files live, okay? So having those two in mind, you need to go ahead and find out where can I get a domain name and where can I get hosting. So once you have these set up, then you can build a website and put it on that hosting, and the domain name is going to point to those files, to the website, okay? So first thing you do, Google it. If you go to Google, you say domain name and hosting, okay? You type in here, here we go, GoDaddy comes as the first one. Google domains, as it's picking up as well. So Google have started to selling domains and hosting, okay? So you can see here, GoDaddy is one of the hosting and domain name registrars that is very familiar. So if you haven't heard of it, that's fine. You can go to GoDaddy.com, and here you can type in your domain name that you like, okay? So my son's first and last name, Dr. Aliyu, search. When you hit the search button, this will tell you whether this is occupied or not. So this domain is available at $2.99 for the first year. So this is a yearly kind of subscription. And then after that is going to be $15, $14.99. Okay, so you need to pay for a domain name on yearly basis. And usually, depending on what kind of domain you want, okay, some of the domains are very, very expensive. Some of them can go into more than $1 million domain name. Okay, but you can grab some domain names that are not as popular, maybe not as short. Like this one is only $3 for the first year. So once you get that, at GoDaddy you can also buy hosting, which if you go through this domain name and you type in continue to cart, later on it will ask you, do you want to get hosting? And next, there's a wizard. It's going to ask you for the card, and you pay for it. Now hosting is around, let's see, for you guys, if you are just starting. So hosting, as you can see, you can start with $4 per month. Now the hosting is per month. You can pay for the whole year, but $4 per month if you want to have more power to the server, more, you can see the features here, etc., more storage, etc. See, unlimited storage instead of 100 gigabytes, that's $4.49. So keep in mind, everybody needs hosting and a domain to run their own website, whether you are a company or an individual. If you want to have a website, you need a domain name and a hosting. Okay, that's simple as that. Maybe a lot of you guys already heard of that. So and usually how the web works, you type in the domain name. That domain is already registered with a registrar, in this case GoDaddy. That reference, so that domain will go to the server, okay, which is a different kind of server for the, it's a DNS kind of server, which is for the domain names. And then that is going to tell where is the hosting, what server is attached to this domain. So we'll go and host the website to the client. The client is the browser. Okay, so when I say browser, we're talking about Internet Explorer, Firefox, etc. Okay, so let's jump into the next point. Keep refreshing here just in case. I'm not sure if the questions here might come at runtime. It's a third-party plugin that I'm adding, and it doesn't look like people join with their name here, but feel free to join if you have any questions. Okay, so how much HTML should you know? Now, there's two ways that you can build a website. You can build a website without knowing any HTML, okay? There's different website builders that you can use out there, okay? Or the famous one is WordPress, which is, it started as a blog management system. Now it's a content management system, a website builder, etc. So WordPress is, if you've heard, a lot of people heard of it, it powers more than 25% or more than, I think 25% of the websites in the entire world. Okay, so it's a very, very famous platform. It's a content management system, so it manages the content of your website. Okay, so you can go with WordPress, which means that you don't need to know coding in order to use WordPress. However, setting up WordPress has a little bit of learning curve. Now with GoDaddy, there is ways that you can set up through a wizard or other hosting companies. However, when you go to the administrator side of the WordPress, that one is going to need, you need to learn about that, how to use the administrative side of the WordPress. There is tons of courses on how to use WordPress. We have one at academy.realvisuals. There's free courses, so maybe you can Google it. I think we have an instructor from Germany that's giving one at $29. Starting doing that, how to build a WordPress full version. but there's tons of them. Some of them are free, but if you go to academy.realvisuals.com, you could potentially get that course. Okay, so realvisuals.com. See, so I got a text message. Okay, so now let's talk about the next way to build a website. It's with plain HTML and CSS. And I suggest you learn some HTML and some CSS, okay? This is the language for the web. Every browser that you see, Chrome, Firefox, Internet Explorer, at the end, it renders in front of you HTML, which is a markup language, okay? It's the language for the web. Whatever you see here in every website, if you right click and go to view page source, the website is puzzled through this code. Now, I'm not saying you need to learn all this code, okay? But learning the basics, how HTML works, will give you a different appreciation and unleash the creativity on you on how to build a creative website, how to build an awesome website, okay? And it's not hard at all to learn HTML. You can probably learn HTML in a couple of weeks, enough for you to make some tweaks to an already made template. And that's what I want to show you, how to get a template, and then how to go inside and then just make some tweaks. So I have put together a course at my academy. So if you go to redvanaliu.com, I grabbed a course here, see, Intro to HTML and CSS. And this is the course I grabbed from Udacity. Udacity is an amazing MOOC that's built by instructors from Stanford, Google, etc. Now you can download those videos and I put them into a course here. So you can come in here and enroll. Now I'm already logged in, but if I am not logged in, this course is free. So I just made this just before the class or before the live session. So you can come here, register, go ahead and type in your email and password. And again, this is just the basics of HTML and CSS. For you guys that already know how to do that, don't worry about it. You don't have to join this course, but feel free to join. You can see how great teachers from big brands teach HTML. I didn't teach this course. I just puzzled the videos that I grabbed from Udacity. Okay. So if you have any questions inside, feel free to type in the questions. I can come in and answer. So if I go inside real quick. So this course, if you go in as a student, you will have the lessons here on the left side, some material, and then course discussions. So you can type in whatever you like there and I can try to answer. And then go through the lessons. Each lesson has a video and some text below, maybe some samples as well. But very well done course. I liked it among the others that I've seen on the web. So that's why I brought that here. It has very short videos, but about 22 of short and sweet videos that will give you a pretty fundamental knowledge of HTML, CSS, so you can start tweaking a template, okay? So again, whether, I know a lot of people might say, well, I don't have the time for this, you know, I just want to build a website with less than $50 and not learn how to code. But trust me, if you learn what's behind a website, what is the language that puzzles a website, it will really give you that creative edge when tweaking a template, okay, when choosing a template, okay, etc. Okay, so I think you should definitely get down and do this. It shouldn't take you maybe, I mean, this is 22 lessons, so you can do it in one day, okay? Of course, it takes about a week or two to practice along the way, and once you learn the basics, then you can just do amazing websites by grabbing a template, tweaking it, maybe selling it, etc. Okay, so let me come back here one more time, see if anybody. Okay, very cool. All right, so that's about learning some HTML. Okay, so once more, you go to redvanaliyu.com. So let me type that in here as well. Go to redvanaliyu.com. There is an HTML CSS course, Intro to HTML and CSS. Now, in the same catalog, I have some collections of templates that I have gotten from open source. Okay, so here's 11 of my favorite PSD templates. Okay, so if I come inside, if I scroll down here, here is these PSDs look like, and it's pretty awesome. These are Photoshop templates. So if you get more deeper in HTML, CSS, you can take an already designed in Photoshop website and convert that into HTML, CSS. So you can log in here and download these. These are open to the public. I grabbed them from different authors that gave this for free, and you can take it for free as well. Okay, and then there's also, here's ready to go HTML templates. So if you wanna, let me just take some of these. So if I click on this one, you can take a look at how awesome already made HTML5 template. This is HTML5, the latest kind of HTML in the market. And if I scroll down, see how cool this is. It has what I do, and then I keep scrolling down. Here's another block that slides in. I keep scrolling down. Here's my work, so you can replace this with your work. Okay, and I keep scrolling. Here's a contact page where people can contact you. And it's a very simple, to the point template, and it's fully responsive. So for example, by the way, I can click at the top and it will scroll to the section below on the same page. Okay, so notice if I make this small, look how this is fully responsive. It automatically adjusts the layout. So if somebody was to reach your website from their mobile device, it will look great. Okay, so you don't have to zoom in and zoom out. All right, so that's one. You can explore the others. So I have, how many I said here? 9. So there's some others that are pretty amazing, and you can maybe download one of these. You don't have to purchase a new template. You can download one of these, which are free, and then change the text and the images inside. And so that's all you're gonna do. You're gonna change the text here, maybe remove some of the content that you don't want, but you can come in and, for example, let's say you want to show your services here in this section. Okay, you change the title to whatever services you want to show, and then here is some bullet point list with some icons that you can show your services. If you only have 4, you remove the last 2. And then here's a get started button, so it goes to your services. Here's your portfolio, maybe some of the projects that you worked on, and here's the contact information that you can share. So these are some awesome templates. This one is also responsive. Look at the navigation here at the top. When somebody reaches this template or this website from the browser, from the mobile device, the navigation collapses on the left. You see that? That's pretty cool. So you can download all of these for free, and they are again at redvanaliyu.com. Okay, register and download. UI, etc. Okay, so so now what I want to show you is one marketplace that has thousands of templates that I purchased. A lot of templates in there for different initiatives that I do, different endeavors, different clients, etc., etc. Okay, and that is at themeforest.com, one of the most famous that I've seen out there. I've been a member for these guys for about 6 years. They started with one marketplace called themeforest.net. Sorry, themeforest.net. Australian-based company. They do just amazing templates. Now, themeforest.net is for web templates. You can also have video templates that you can grab here at Video Hive. Now maybe we'll have a different e-seminar on how to build a video, a nice looking video for your website, okay? And we built so many videos by purchasing a template and then changing the content. It's really professional videos that you see on movies that you can come in here and grab a video. So themeforest.net is the one for web templates, okay? And you can grab so nothing is free on this one, by the way, on this website, but there are a lot of cheap templates that look amazing, okay? Now, if you want to Google and find a free template, that's fine. But if you want to have something a little more creative and maybe a lot more creative, then you come and buy a little bit more expensive templates, which again, they all range from $4 to around $50. So anything between that range, you're good to go. So this is the only kind of major spendings that you will do on a website in addition to your hosting and domain. Remember, hosting and domain was $3.99 for hosting, $2.99 for domain, and you maybe here buy a $14, $15 template, and you're good to go. So definitely less than $50, right? So if you want to pick an HTML template, so notice you have a WordPress section, HTML section. You come in here and you can look into some of these templates here. So if you go to the personal section, okay, if you want to build a brand about yourself, you go here to the personal section. Notice the prices are $13, $18, $15, so fairly cheap, right? And then if you roll over this, click on the live preview, okay, this will open up the template. I can remove the iframe here. So this is a preloader for this template. This one is taking a little time because I'm sharing the screen. I'm using a lot of bandwidth here, so it took a little time. But here's a very good looking template. Very simple. Hello, I am your name, right? I have more than 5 years of experience as a web developer, whatever experience you have. And then straight to the point, about you, some personal information, and then your skill set. What are you good at? You see, 100% HTML and CSS3, 80% WordPress. This is what you're good at. You scroll down, here's maybe some of your posts, some of the articles that you give to people, or you write about, your resume. So this is a personal HTML template. Here's some of the projects, whether it's a design work, maybe you are a photographer, etc. You can post your photography here, etc., etc. Okay, so this is a very nice looking template. If I click here, look at the menu, how cool that is. I click on here and then it expands my menu, and if I click, it will scroll to the page. This is a single page scrolling template. I really enjoy those for personal websites. Okay, very nice. So you can you can find the one that fits you best in terms of colors. Maybe you have a preference in colors, the way that the layout looks, the elements inside, what you're trying to do on promoting your idea or your company's idea, etc. So let me come back here one more time and refresh. I want to see. Okay. No questions. I see few people already listening in, but nobody joined for any questions. So if you have any questions, feel free to join and I'll come back and take a look at those. So again, just go through these. Find the one that really fits you best in terms of what idea you have or the company you're trying to build a website for. Here's another one, $16. Pretty nice one. I like it. See, I like the ones that allow you to put your image on the homepage, just like social triggers, right? If you go to the homepage of social triggers, here is Derek's image. I really like that. So people really know who you are, and they start building a bond with you by looking at your picture first, saying, okay, this is the guy that I'm gonna read, or this is the girl I'm gonna read uh, the website about, or who is the guy that's giving us all of these content. I think it makes an effect if you put your image in there. So this is an amazing one. Here's an image, tells here's me, and if I scroll down, see the image doesn't scroll, so I like that. And notice at the top there's an animation with some keywords about yourself, um, that you, maybe your status. See, it says on vacation, maybe your experience, senior web developer or senior coach, a relationship coach, etc. Okay, some keywords that you can use for yourself, and it jumps straight to the point, who you are. Really love this one. It's pretty interesting. So here's and here's a skill set. See how you can tell the user, based on these topics, what are your strengths, okay, your skills. Education, experience, very nice. Portfolio, so this one now it goes to a different page. Notice when I click on resume, it's a different page. Portfolio, it's a different page. It doesn't scroll up and down, but you can scroll now inside the portfolio. Wow, like this one. Okay, hire me. Yeah, what clients say. If you have any testimonials, you can put that in here. How many projects you have done, etc. And here's the blog. Very nice, nicely done. Okay. So again, go to themeforest.net, click on HTML, and then pick one of these topics. If you want to build a personal website, pick on personal, okay? And I'm going through that list. So once you pick one of these and you purchase that, then it will allow you to download the HTML and CSS for it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to download one of mine that I have on my website, okay? And then I'll open them up. I'll tell you the editor that you should open them up. Now, I don't want you to get scared when you see the code inside, because after you take the course, Intro to HTML and CSS, then when you open that template, you will say, oh, I know what this is, okay? I know how to change this and that, you know? So first, I suggest you take this course if you haven't done any HTML, CSS, okay? And once you take that course, you download the template, then it will look familiar to you, okay? So let me go to my website and I'll download, not this, one of these, okay? So I can go inside. Let's download the first one, okay? See this one, you can view a demo and then you can click on the download link. So if you want to, before you purchase a template here, if you want to practice what you have learned in Intro to HTML, feel free to download one of these free templates from my website and then play around with those before you move on to tweak your own template, okay? Now, a lot of people might say, well, I'm just gonna hire somebody to do this, okay? I really, I cannot stress this enough. I know your time is very precious and limited, but even if you hire a developer to do this in the future, I would like you to learn the basics on how a website is puzzled. So when you hire a developer, the feedback you give to the developer will be much stronger and effective, okay? When you know what happens behind the scene. And I am pretty sure once you learn the basics, let's say you hire a developer and then some of the text that you gave them to change, you don't like it, you will just jump inside and change it yourself, okay? You will go ahead and try to tweak it yourself, and that's how you unleash the creativity that you want to have a website the way that you like, the way that maybe your audience likes, etc. And it will just coding in general. There's a lot of initiatives going out there that are pushing coding because it really trains the way you think. Remember, coding is instructions that you give to the computer to do certain things. So if you learn those instructions, then it gives you a process on how you think or tackle an issue, or maybe tackle a business issue, reach a goal, a business goal. So it helps you even in business. Okay. So again, whether you are a doctor or whatever you're doing, maybe you a farmer, whatever you do, I think learning the basics of coding, since now we are so surrounded with technology, I think it will help you along the way to build a successful business and a successful brand. Okay. All right, let me come back here. We're almost, it's 42. Let me open that. All right, so no questions so far. Pretty cool. Very quiet audience. Okay, so if I come back here and I downloaded this, now I'm gonna open it. So I'm gonna double click on it. This will extract, and here's the folder inside. Now these files and folders make up the website. So if I click on the index, now notice this is now opening in my local machine. So file, this one is not on the web anymore. This is local. So whatever changes I make, I can see them right in there. I don't have to upload them to a server. Okay. So to make changes to a website, so you can see the code behind it, you need to open the HTML and the CSS, which is the two main files, via a text editor. Okay, a piece of software just like Notepad. A text editor could be Notepad in your Windows machine, maybe. In here, you can use the text edit, but there are so many text editors out there that will make your life easier. One of the simplest and quite famous nowadays is Sublime Text. So let's write that here. So text editor to modify your HTML CSS template. That's Sublime Text, Sublime Text, I think .com. Let me see. If I type in Google Sublime, I already have downloaded it. Sublime Text, here they go. So if I copy this, I'm just gonna copy and paste this here. Okay, sublimetext.com. You'll go here and click on the download here, and then download depending on what machine you have. Windows 64 bits, you have a Mac computer. So download that, and then click on the install button to install. And then you will have something like this. So when you open, it will look like this. Okay. So it's a dark screen here. Now I can type in something here. Okay. But what I want to do is I want to grab the folders. Let me close these. So the folder I just downloaded and I extracted. So that folder has all the CSS and HTML and some images. I can grab that and then just drop it here in this screen. So what that does, it opens that folder here on the left navigation. Okay. And then now I can click on the HTML and CSS files and tweak them. So when I click on index.html, here is the code behind it. Now I'm not going to go into the details here because I want you to take that intro to HTML, CSS. But real quick, if we just read some of this. HTML is built with tags. Every tag is like here. You open HTML, you close HTML, okay? So it's built like this, with open and closing tags that they wrap each other. So you can have now tags. Everything goes inside the HTML now. So you open and close. Now you can have different tags inside that do that puzzle different parts of the website. Okay, so for example, there is a tag for the header, and then closes the header here. Let me zoom in a little bit. The head. This means is the head of the browser. That is usually this top part here. So for example, let me close these so I can see this better. So here, if I open up, so remember you open it with the browser. See how it says here, big picture by HTML5 up. You see that? Everyone has its own. Sublime text. Here's Almuk. Here's 280 personal, ED on go. You see these? That's the head. So everything is inside the head. So if I change this here to say my personal website, and then your name maybe, then hit save. So you hit Control S, or you go to File, Save. Then I come back here to that file. This is the file that we're modifying, and hit refresh. Now notice at the top it says my personal. Okay, let's try to change this word hey, and then we're gonna call it a day. So if I come here, I can scroll down. Here's a logo, big picture. If I want to change that, oh, here's the navigation. Okay, it says intro. What do I do? It's talking about this navigation. So you can simply change those, and it will change all the buttons at the top. All right, so I want to find the word hey. Here we go. Hey, and it's wrapped up in heading 2. You know, like in Microsoft Word, you have heading 1, heading 2. So heading 1 is the biggest, and then it goes down to making things smaller. So hey, and I change that to welcome. Okay, Control S to save it. I come back here, refresh, welcome. Now you can keep changing those as you go. You can change the images, you save the images. So by the way, your images are in the images folder. If you just replace any of these images, it will automatically replace them in the website. You don't have to do anything else. You just replace the images with the same name. It will override the images in the images folder, and it will automatically show them in your website. So you will learn all of this if you take the first HTML course. Now, I don't want to prolong this anymore, but really building a website, unleashing your creativity, it doesn't take long. And for any business owner out there, I would suggest you get down and dirty, like they say. You know, you get down to it and learn how a website is built. And that is it for today. If you have any questions, please let me know. So I went a little bit faster, so when people watch the recording, it will not sound as boring. Okay. So any questions from anyone? Going once. Again, if you the way you ask a question is by typing it in here. Let me go to the if I can open this. So you type in your name here, hit enter, and you can ask a question right in there. Okay. Okay, I guess there are no questions. If you have questions in the future, please type in that question on the form here to the right, and I will receive an email. Again, the questions that you type in the form will be answered in the next session. So thank you for watching, and let's do another session in March. Thank you, everybody. Enjoy the rest of the weekend, and happy learning on how to build a website. I would love to see what you have built. If you want to share your website and get feedback, I would love to give you feedback as much as I can. Again, you can submit the URL of your website through this form, and I can email you back with my feedback. Okay, everybody. Thank you from Seattle. Have a great rest of the weekend. Bye-bye.